Yo, what's going on? All right, there we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lionel, class of 2009, back with another episode of PV versus everybody. And listen, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what today is. Got the Rice game. Got the Rice game on in the back. Not looking good. Not looking good for the Panthers right now. But hey, it's early National Signing Day. Y'all know what that means, man. It's time to welcome in some new blood that's gonna come in and look to bring that championship to PV Nation. We're not just talking about a SWAC West title, you feel me? Not just talking about a SWAC West title. We're talking about a SWAC championship, talking about a Celebration Bowl championship. You know, that's what we're talking about, man. And so I'm super excited for what we got going on today. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for some of the moves we've made so far. I'm definitely hopeful and excited to see some other moves, you know what I'm saying, that we're going to have happen. And so yeah, man, let's get started again. If it's your first time here, then you know what to do, man. Make sure that you go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and share this video. Subscribe to the channel, because here we talk about all things PV Nation. Like I always say, we're not the side conversation. We're not the side dish. We are the main thing, right? And so it's a lot of other places you can go to find out about what's going on with other people. But here we come to find out about what's going on with us. You know what I'm saying? So let me get these slides loaded up for you guys so we can go ahead and get started for today. Got a lot of stuff to get into. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple new players that have signed on the dotted line. You feel me? And so that's what we're gonna talk about today, man. So first and foremost, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna start it off. We're gonna start it off like this. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that man, James Katt III, one of the first signees coming on for today, coming over for Southwest Mississippi Community College out in Woodville, out in Macomb, Mississippi. Actually, not Woodville, out from Macomb, Mississippi. You feel me? But listen, we was in Mississippi strong today. You know what I mean? Came over this brother coming in 36 tackles this last year. This JUCO year, he had 2 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble. So we talk about what Coach Jonas is looking to do with this defensive line. He's been aggressive out here. You know what I'm saying? Putting out offers. We got a lot of offers out. So some D linemen that, again, man, I'm hoping that will see what we're building over here in PV and come join, you know what I'm saying? Come join the gang. But we also obviously got a good bunch that's already here. But it's something about having depth, right? You know what I mean? You got to have depth when you talk about that defensive line, talking about being able to continue to control the run. And one of the big things that we were not able to do as well as I think we want to be able to do, obviously, is to get pressure on the quarterback. So he's coming over 6'3", 280 pounds. And so I'm really hoping that, you know, he can come out, right, and continue to do what he did in JUCO, right, which is, listen, you know, get in the backfield. You know, we need to get some tackles for loss, get teams going and moving in the other direction. And also, I'm hoping that he can come over here, right, combine with what we already have and increase that sack total, right? So 2 sacks on the year this past year. So shout out to James Katt III for signing on with the Panthers, man. We definitely appreciate you for seeing the vision and for seeing what we building over here and for saying, listen, I know that my talent can combine with what y'all got going over here and y'all can get some things done. So that's the first and foremost who we got going, Mr. James Katt. Boy is under the weather today, you feel me? So, you know, give me some grace because I know my voice probably sound crazy right now. You know, I can't hear from y'all in, but I already know it probably sound crazy. But hey, the show must go on. Shout out to Mr. Q, you know what I'm saying, for joining us live. Mr. Isaiah's in the building. You got High Tech JD, Elvin, of course. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it in. Listen, Swain, again, like I say, should be at every game. We got to play Swain. You feel me? And G Boom said he over there at the Rice basketball game checking us out too. So it's not looking good for the men's team right now. But hey, we keep it going. So let's keep it moving, man. Let's jump over from Mr. James Katt and let's jump over to this young gentleman right here, Duece Barrington. Duece Barrington coming in at QB from Fulshire High School. Today, he has definitely signed the dotted line. He's been committed for a couple months now. Love to see what he did out of Fulshire this year. That team had such a great year this year, and obviously him being the leader. This is senior season. So he was 74 of 116, which is 64% completion rate, which is great, man. 59 yards, 22 touchdowns. And listen, 22 touchdowns and 1 interception. Listen, 22 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, you can't beat that. You really can't beat that at the end of the day. If you can hold on to the ball and if you can protect the ball, that's major. That's at the end of the day, that's what you want. If you can do that, if you can make sure that the other team don't have extra opportunities, you already winning, right? And so one thing from this past year, obviously, that we didn't do was we did not protect the ball, right? We didn't protect the ball at all. And so to have somebody who has had an opportunity to play and to protect the ball as he did, to only give the other team 1 opportunity, right, to make moves, that's major, right? That's extremely major because we didn't win the turnover battle in any game this past year in 2023. You're talking about 12 games, including the SWAC championship game, that we did not win the turnover battle not once. So that's huge. That's a big thing for him to come in and say, like, hey, listen, one thing I'm gonna do is make sure I don't give the other team opportunities, right? The other thing, you know what I'm saying, for Mr. Barrington is, listen, he got the ball to his receivers, and with a 19.7 average, that's great. One thing we see good with him when we look at the tape, and he plays well off of play action. Now, this is a Fulshire team that runs the ball a lot. I mean, they run the ball a lot. That's what they tip their hat on. But this guy, I mean, is great off of the play action. And that's big, right? You know, you talk about an RPO scheme, which is what we run. I mean, it's great, you know what I'm saying, to know that you got a quarterback that can get the ball outright, get his eyes upfield, and find the open man and get the ball to his playmakers. That's huge. That's big. And so that's definitely huge, man. So D, what's up? Happy you own joining us, man. Yes, out the backyard, man. And listen, another guy, one thing that's good, and I'm happy to see with this early class, and hopefully we'll see it throughout the rest of the signing period until February, is that we keep seeing guys who are local guys. When I say local, I'm talking about Texas guys, right? Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, right? And so this is a big signing. You know, this is really a big pickup, because at the end of the day, when you get a guy who has this type of ability, who at the end of the day wasn't widely recruited, but shows that he got the skill set, that's major to be able to get him into your program early, because you get him there early, you can develop him right. And listen, you're talking about now having a quarterback there who can come in when he's ready to take the reins, and literally, I mean, you get 3 years of a guy, I mean, in his prime. So I think it's a great pickup to have him come in. You don't have to rush him right into a starting role or position in his freshman year. You get a chance to get him in right, get him used to the college game, the speed of the college game, and develop him, man. And that's what you got to do, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you say, the future is looking bright. The future is looking bright. Isaiah says, now that Collier is back available, I wonder if we can add him to and add that to the QB spot. Yeah, listen, what the best teams do at the end of the day is they got multiple people at multiple positions. Just like we talked about first with James Cate. You know, you got to have if you're talking about the defensive line, you're talking about really you need to be able to go 9, 10, 11 deep, right? You know, you need to be able to bring them in waves. And so you got to have depth at the end of the day, right? And that's the same thing we talk about the QB position. At the end of the day, if we want to talk about QBs this past year throughout the SWAC, right? One thing we're going to see, right, is like, hey, Tyler Macon came in at Alcorn, and they say, hey, this the guy. Tyler Macon's the guy. What happened? Tyler Macon in the first couple weeks didn't play all that great. Got injured. Went out, and Aaron Allen came in and started riding the wave of Aaron Allen, right? Now, he couldn't finish it off, but at the end of the day, that's why you got to have multiple guys, right, in your system. Same thing with Alabama A&M, you know, same thing with Jackson State. Like, you got to have multiple QBs, because one, injuries can happen at any time. That's first and foremost, right? We saw what happened to us in the SWAC championship game. And then also at the end of the day, you just don't know who's going to pan out, right? And you don't know if these guys you're going to bring in, again, you believe that they have the skill set, the talent, the ability, but you just don't know, right? Until they get in the game, until they see SWAC football, you have no idea, right? Let's keep it going. Q said, especially with the offense they ran, and said, another Cam Ward in the making, in your opinion. Listen, hey, man, listen, if y'all don't know, Cam Ward went to Incarnate Word, Washington State. Now this man is about to get $1 million from some school. It's like 10 schools trying to give $1 million, right? So if Duece Barrington can be that, then listen, you know, that's all as well. I got to tip our cap. Listen, we got to get our NIL money together. You feel me? So when those vultures come calling us, like, listen, hey, Duece, we got you. We got you. Don't worry. We got you, right? So listen, we got some time right now to get our NIL money together so we can take care of that. So PV Nation, need y'all to be here with me, need y'all to be thinking, right? So that's that boy Duece. You know what I'm saying? And look, we're gonna take an exhaustive look. I was gonna look at doing that today, but I was like, you know what? We'll take an exhaustive look at some of these signings in the future, right? We'll look at some film, look at some tape as well, right? I know you guys appreciate that, right? We can break some stuff down together, but today we're gonna just kind of get through some of the signings, right? You know what I mean? So we won't make this a exhaustive and long video, right? You know what I mean? So next up, right? Talking about another local guy, right? Talking about another guy coming from a program that's a winning program. Oak Cliff, Texas, obviously, winning program last 3 years, getting to the state championship game, of course, not being able to get the job done this year. 2021, 2022, though, state champions. Listen, Xyler Myles. He's been committed to PV since March, signed today. Listen, this guy's not. I really don't. This guy's nice, man. This guy with the size that he has on him, right? And he moves well. He moves really well, right? And so this is a guy that can come in. Coach Green can coach him up. This is a guy that you got to put a pin. You got to put a pin in him and say, man, this is another prospect that you can build up from freshman year until he graduates and say, man, he got the talent and ability to put work in to say this man can play at the next level, right? This is one of those kids, right, that you come in and you say, man, this guy has the skill set and ability that if you coach him up freshman year, sophomore, junior, senior, listen, he can play at the next level. He got the size, right? He got the quickness. It's just putting the body of work together over the years in college, right? Putting the work in the weight room, in the film room. I think this is that type of guy, right? And so I'm super excited about him. Man, listen, this guy gets after it. You need to go check out some of his film, man. This guy gets after it right up at South Oak Cliff. Of course, was named one of the top linemen in his class this year by Lone Star Preps. So this is a guy who probably should be getting more accolades and more looks than he did. But at the end of the day, because of how the portal is moving now, this gives the opportunity for HBCUs, for Prairie View, for example, to come in and to be able to, get guys who probably were lower FBS group of 5 guys. If you have no transfer portal, like they're probably FBS guys. Well, now some of those guys in high school are going to be available for you to get into your program in the FCS, right? And I feel like this is one of the guys who is that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, listen, great footwork. You know what I'm saying? Uses hands well. Like, I really think he's a guy who's going to be that. And immediate starter, listen, he has a chance because you're talking about a team, and it really is going to depend on, who was brought in, right, during this offseason. Obviously, you got a couple guys who from last year who played, but he's going to have an opportunity. Like, he's going to have an opportunity to come in and vie for immediate, playing time and to vie for a starting position on top, right? It's really going to depend on when he comes in, how he going to put that work in. You feel me? So shoot, I think he definitely has that opportunity, and we're going to see, right? You got Caden Bowers coming back. Of course, you got Pedro Da Silva who's coming back. So you got some guys, you got Jadrian Cooper. So you got some guys, right, who coming back, who are going to have an opportunity, but you lost 5 starters on the offensive line last year. So listen, it's all up for grabs. So spring is going to be crazy when you talk about the offensive line, man. What's going on, Script? Appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? All 12 of us. There's 15 of us on now. You know what I'm saying? So it must be 12 fans and 3 haters. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you for coming through. Q says, big thanks to PV alumni, coaching staff. Yeah, listen, and that's what we got to keep doing, right? We got to really tap into our network throughout Texas. We got to really tap into that network throughout Texas and really control. One thing that I will say with this signing group is when I saw the South Oak Clip signing group, I'm like, listen, how Valley come in our backyard and take 2 guys to Mississippi, to South Mississippi? Like, that really don't make sense to me. You feel me? That don't make sense to me. You know, we should live in South Dallas, right? We should live in Houston. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's my thought process with that, right? So Xyler Myles, I definitely think he has a chance to come in. Definitely has a chance to come in and start. Now we talk about somebody else who's going to come in and I think vie for a starter position. Coming in from JUCO is Mo Miles, right? Also coming from Southwest Mississippi Community College too as well. Now I will say this team did, you know, they were not a great team this past year, right? Only average 90 yards rushing this past year. So not a great team, you know what I'm saying, in the run game. And obviously that's our bread and butter. But I would tell you, I think he's going to come in and obviously have a chance to vie for that position. Now, when Chance Jones went out throughout the year, this year, you know, Pedro da Silva is who came in as a freshman, right, and actually had a chance to start in that center position. You know, Kobe Lewis also moved over and played some there. But, you know, so I think it's going to be him and Pedro obviously battling for that starting center spot off top, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Coach Green also is going to have some other guys vying for their position too. But he's definitely going to come in. And again, the main thing is, right, we need to find who this new front five is going to be, because we got to be able to protect, you know, these quarterbacks that we're bringing in, give them a chance to throw the ball, right? And we got to be able to create the lanes, right, for the running backs, right? We continue to stock up on the running back and the running back position. Obviously, we still got Connor Wisham, still got Jamarius Brooks, right? We got Ronald Young, right? We got backs, right? And we're bringing in some backs too this year, right? But we got to figure out that line, man. That line is going to be super important to figure out, because at the end of the day, you lose 5 starters who've been together, who played together solidly for 2 seasons in a row. That's big. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure that out. But listen, I trust Coach Green up front to get those guys in order. So shout out to Mo Miles, man, for signing on the dotted line. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what we're doing, we got building over here in Prairie View, man, and wanting to be a part of what we got going on. G Boom said 12 man is still doing that thing. Would like to see us take a look in East Texas. Definitely, man. I think we need to control all Texas at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We need to control all of East Texas, period. You know what I'm saying? South Dallas, Houston, and East Texas. So another signing, right? Jeremiah Ratcliff coming over. Again, another Southwest Community College signee, right? So 3 guys coming from, you know, SMCC, Southwest Community College. He had 29 receptions, 368 yards, 1 touchdown, 12.7 average a catch this past year. So I think this is a guy who's coming in. Coach Reggie Moore is bringing him in. Again, keeping that wide receiver room stocked up right. Now, he's going to have to fight for position because, listen, we got Kobe Cavill coming back, who played well, right, in spots in that slot position. We obviously got Marquise Duece, obviously, that's coming in, that's going to vie in that position. So, you know, he's going to have to come in and he's going to have to fight for some playing time at the end of the day. But listen, that's a great thing. When you talk about building a room, you want a room that, listen, every single person in that room can step in and play well and you don't lose anything. That's what we got. That's what we got to learn, right, in this recruiting process, is to bring people in to where anybody can step in and there is going to be no drop off, right? And so one of our best rooms this past year was the wide receiver room, right? We lost a couple of pieces there, but listen, Coach Reggie Morris continued to keep that thing stocked up. And so Jeremiah Ratcliff is coming over from SCCC, right? Has some speed on him too. So I'm sure he's going to also get a chance to compete for punt return and kick return duties with a couple other transfers we got and some of the current guys. So it's going to be interesting. Like I say, spring is going to be really interesting, man, to see how guys vie out and what they do. Next up, we got one of the running backs. Listen, we got 2 high school running backs coming in that, listen, both of these guys is going to really give that work, right? Both of these guys is going to really give us that work, right? And so the first guy we got is Ryan Hall. And I think I think I done mixed up his stats. Let me pull this up real quick because I think I done mixed his stats up with one of the other guys that came in. So let me see. 219 carries for 1,204 yards. 219 carries for 1,204 yards last year and 10 touchdowns. So 219 carries, 1,204 yards, 10 touchdowns, right? Of course, he was all district in 6A 19. So listen, this is a guy who played big boy football with the Katie's, with Katie Pato, right? So he out here playing big boy football. But he done did his thing, man. You know what I'm saying? 6 foot, 205 pounds. So this is one of those guys who's gonna be one of your bigger backs, right? To come in to really be able to pound the ball with. And so I'm really liking us bringing this guy in from Morton Ranch. He played 2 years, right? His junior year as well. 120 carries, 797 yards, and 10 touchdowns, right? So he played sophomore, junior, and his senior season, right? 10 touchdowns in both his junior and his senior year. And so again, man, losing Caleb Johnson, losing Ahmad Antoine, right? We bringing in some guys, right, who you can look at and see like, hey, man, these guys have the ability and the skill set to be able to play starting freshman year, right? You know, they have that skill set, they have that size to be able to play freshman year. Obviously, again, running back is one of those positions where you got to come in and fight for some playing time. But as we saw last year, right, we had Ahmad Antoine out, we had Caleb Johnson out, we had Connor Wisham out, right? So Jamarius Brooks had to step up. We had, Ronald Young as a freshman having to step up. And so at the end of the day, man, we got to have people at every position to where, listen, this next man up mentality. And so Ryan Hall, man, I'm super excited about this guy coming over. And this next guy, listen, this next guy is giving me vibes from a guy that we had back in the day. All right. And he's coming from Terrell, Texas. And you know who his coach is. You feel me? You know who his coach is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got the graphics mixed up, you know what I mean, on that. But Chase Bingham, man. Chase Bingham coming over as well. From Dewanye Tucker, right. Chase Bingham coming over from Terrell, Texas. Listen, 3 years. 3-year starter. 186 carries, 1,283 yards, 16 touchdowns. 219 carries, 2,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. 193 carries, 12 yards, 25 touchdowns, right? You're talking about a guy, a small, shifty guy, right? Again, it puts you in that same mindset as a Dewanye Tucker. Obviously, a guy who returns punts, who returns kicks. And like I say, he's going to have a chance to come in and fight for that position, right? You got a Marquise Doucette who's coming back, got a Kobe Cavill, right? So you got guys there. But again, when you're talking about building the program, man, you got to have guys that can step in at every level. And so, man, this is a guy who is very dynamic, who if he has a hole, listen, he can take it to the house. That's what this guy is here, right? And he's done it for 3 years up there in Terrell. And I think he's ready, right, to come up here and add some of that flavor to PV as well. So super excited as well about both of the running backs coming in. Listen, both Ryan Hall and Chase Bingham average over 6 yards a carry. Listen, they're both averaging 6 yards a carry in 5A and 6A football in Texas. At the end of the day, that's big boy football out here in Texas. Both of these guys averaging 6 yards plus a carry. Huge, right? Those are the guys that you're bringing into your program. And so, listen, the future looks extremely bright when you talk about the running back position at Prairie View. Man, listen, that two-headed monster with both of these guys is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. That two-headed monster is going to be real nice, all right? The Hall and Bingham connection, listen, I like it. You talking about thunder and lightning? You're really talking about thunder and lightning here, right? When you talk about Ryan Hall coming in as the big bruiser, talk about Chase Bingham coming in as that lightning, man, listen, it's going to be, I think it's going to be exciting when you think about the running back position here at Prairie View and what we got coming in the next couple years, man. So super excited about them. Oh, yeah, man, I appreciate it. you know what I mean? Yeah, I messed up those. I messed up that graphic. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to fix that, get that corrected. But yeah, so let me share again for my boy Ryan Hall. Let me see if I can get this up. And we got a couple more guys, right? We want to check out before we close out. We got a couple commits as well, right? So we got 4 guys who committed but have not signed as of yet. So I just want to let you guys know about these guys as well. One is Miles Williams, defensive back coming out of Manville High School. Did not play his senior year. I was injured. But he's 5'10", 175 pounds, coming out of Manville, Texas, down south of Houston. So we got him coming in. Excited about getting him into the program as well, to add to that secondary unit. And we also got coming out of Pinkston High School, up close in the DFW area, Eric Zachary. Eric Zachary, he's committed again. Haven't signed yet, but he is committed. 45 tackles last year, 10 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 17 pass breakups. Right. So we got Eric Zachary coming over as well. So we got a couple guys, man, that's coming in. And then we also got 2 other guys that's committed. Let me see if I can get these graphics up for you guys though. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. What are you guys thinking about the class so far that we bringing in? You know, one thing that I'm gonna keep seeing, right, is you got to keep bringing in people thinking about the depth play. Because at the end of the day, no matter when you talk about winning programs, you know, winning programs have guys at every level, right? And in every position. They're not just bringing people in, you know, and saying, listen, one quarterback is enough. No, man, they bring in a quarterback in each year to come in and to compete. When you talk about the defensive line position, they're not saying, hey, listen, we got a 3-star, we got a 4-star. That's all we need. Nah, they bringing people in at every position every year to come in and to compete. And so I think the same thing when you talk about, you know, what we're seeking to build and what we're seeking to do here, we're thinking about the longevity, the long-term success of the program, right? And so that's what we got to seek to do as well, right? We got to bring in guys who are going to compete at every single level, right? Let me see. All right. So let me pull this up for you guys. Talk about a couple other guys that we got coming in this year. 2 more guys that's been committed. 2 more transfers. And I know you guys are going to be excited about each of these guys.
It's not a fire drill. It's the real thing.
Adam coming over from Northwestern University.
Nighttime, daytime, she don't see me. Acting like a pocket
hole. From Northwestern State University this year, man. He's gonna add to that depth of that running back room. Obviously, this past year we had Caleb Johnson, who came over as a graduate transfer. Caleb Johnson came over as a graduate transfer, right? Obviously, he played a big role this year in getting us back to the SWAC championship game. And so again, bringing in somebody, right, who's played D1 football 4 years, right, who understand what it takes to work, who also can be an extra coach off the field, right? When you talk about bringing in some of these young guys to help turn around and help them understand what it takes to be that guy on the college level, that's big, right? And so bringing him in, right, to add to that depth of that running back room, I think is really big. I think last year he had 33 carries for 157 total yards, right? So didn't get a lot of run last year, but this is a guy, right, who has played 3 years out at Northwestern, and I think he's going to be able to add some value, right, over here at PV as well. Because again, you know, we're a team that looks at running back by committee, right? You know, so the last couple of years we have looked at, you know, not leaning on one guy, but leaning on the collective in the running back room, so that way we can continue to keep the pressure on teams and on defenses. And I think he's going to be able to come over and help us to do that. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know what I'm saying? Last up, man, As far as our commitments this year, you know what I mean? And oh yeah, I feel you, man. So he says, little bias is my son. Hey, listen, we appreciate you and your son for coming out, man, and believing in PV. You know what I'm saying? And I know we as PV believe in y'all as well, man. Obviously, it's a great university. He's going to enjoy his time here at Prairie View. He's going to get a great education. And at the end of the day, man, he's going to win SWAC championships, and you're going to get a chance to go to Atlanta. You feel me? And so if you ain't been to Atlanta, you're going to get a chance to go to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I know your son is going to be a part of it as well. You know what I'm saying? So like Q say, man, welcome to the Panther family. You feel me? Let's keep it going. And yes, he definitely committed back in July, man. Him and Xyler Myles, right, has been committed for a while. And so we definitely, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely so awesome, you know what I'm saying, to have those individuals, right, who are committed to the university, committed to what we're building here. And so we're excited about that, man. So let's talk about a guy who it might be the guy, you know what I'm saying, who's going to be handing the ball, you feel me? So let's talk about this next commitment we got.
It's not a fire.
That's the wrong video. So let's talk about let's talk about this guy here.
I'll review recorded that, huh? Alright. Let me tell you. Yeah, came a long way. Made 100K, blew it up, made it all back in one day. Paying for the words I say, I know it ain't straight. I like this out of there. Jay, hope you got some of your set, cause it ain't safe. Hope you got some of your set.
College, all right. Cam Peters coming over from Kilgore College, and I know it was, you know, we had three guys that we were looking at, you know what I'm saying, from the JUCO range as far as quarterbacks. Listen, at the end of the day, when you look at the film, when I looked at the stats, this was the guy I said, listen, that's the guy, right? No shots at any of the other guys out there, but when I'm looking at the film and I'm looking at the stats, I'm saying, listen, this is the guy right here. This is the guy. So last year, 112 of 210. So that's 53% completion percentage, right? For 2,140 yards. That's 237.8 yards per game. 10 yards an attempt, 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. 26 touchdowns. Again, talking about Duece Barrington, right? And that 22-1 stat, you got here 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions for Cam Peters, man. And so this guy was major with his arm, but he's also a dual threat guy, right? You know what I'm saying? And also can run the ball as well from the quarterback position. And so he's a true dual threat. You know what I'm saying? They can put the ball in the end zone both with his arm and can put the ball in the end zone with his feet as well. And so I'm super excited to have this guy coming out and joining us this year to come bring his talent to PV. And listen, you're gonna have Cam Peters, you got Duece Barrington, you got Jaden Johnson, right? Who's there already? Case Williams, Kenneth Patterson, right? So you got 5 guys in that room. And so that's really good. You're talking about being able to have guys compete, because at the end of the day, the way you get better is by having to compete. You don't get better just by that. It just happens, right? Just sitting there and just thinking it's just gonna come just because it comes. No, you get better by having to compete. And so one of the things I am excited about is the fact that, listen, everybody is going to have to come in and going to have to, again, prove themselves, prove their worth, and prove that, listen, I deserve playing time, right? I deserve to be on the field. And that's one thing I'm going to love, right, about this quarterback room this year, is that you're bringing in guys who can play, right, who've shown that they can play both at the collegiate level or even at the high school level. Like, they can play. And so I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited for this year and for this summer. I mean, for this spring, because, you're going to have guys who coming in and really seeking to compete for this position, right, and for the ability to play, You know what I'm saying, at PV. So man, I'm super excited by these early signees. Let me see what y'all got going over here, man. You say Cam Peters, you say he's coming from a good program. Cam, Mo City, stand up. Listen, by the way, this is another side note, right? But I'm gonna keep saying it every time I got an opportunity, because somebody out here may be a part of the Marching Storm and they can get me what I want. Listen, I think we need to create another chant. Want my stuff off, you feel me? I think we need to create another chant. It needs to be a mixture of Mo City done and Southside the realest. I'm gonna keep saying that, right? And we need to create a chant around that, because you can't talk about PV without talking about Mo City done and Southside the realest. Listen, that's why I keep saying we need to be living in Houston and need to live in South Dallas, right? That, like, those areas just need to be listened. This is us, right? If you talking about players, you talking about people coming out of these two pockets, you talking about Prairie View, right? And so I really wish we could get somebody to put together a chant based on Mo City done and Southside the realest. Like, merge them two things together, come up with a chant, because listen, that would be fire, all right? Because that needs to be played every game. Swing, you know what I'm saying? P-Funk, like PV chant, like them 4 songs he played every game, period. But we need, man, Southside the realest and Mo City done. Figure out how to put that together. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Just figure it out. It ain't my job. It ain't my job to know how to figure it out, because I ain't the band person. But somebody knows how to figure it out. Somebody knows how to get it done. So anyway, what we got going on, man? So that's what we got so far. Early signing day, man. Like I said, let me see. Let me get this total. I think we got a total of, in this early signing period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 early signees so far that have actually signed on the dotted line. Like I said, we got 4 other guys who have committed but have not signed yet officially, from what I know. But listen, what we're going to continue to do is, we're going to take some time too and do some videos, right, where we actually take the time to look at some film for these guys as well, break down film. Because listen, one thing that I used to say back in the day, and by back in the day, I ain't talking about like a long time ago, maybe like, last couple of years, I always was looking for some stuff for PV. You feel me? And so this is the place. This is the spot, right? You know what I'm saying? And so if you're looking for stuff for PV Nation, we're trying to make this a place to where you can come and you can find it here, right? We can talk PV football. We can talk PV athletics. We can talk all things PV Nation, right? And you know where to go for it, right? So we can support this great university, support what we got going on, right? You ain't got to feel like, you know what I'm saying, you're going to all these places and ain't nobody talking about what we got going on and excitement for our program. This is that place, right? So again, if you got thoughts, if you got questions, you got things you're saying, man, hey, I would love to see this, just let me know. Hit me up. Hey, I'm at PV_versus_everybody on Twitter, Lionel Mosby Jr. on Facebook. So we can definitely get that done, man. So let's see what we got going on here. And if anybody want to jump on before we close out, let me set this up real quick so you guys can jump on. If anybody got something to say, you feel me, we can get that done as well. I can get that done. I have to connect my headphones. Maybe we can't get it done because my headphones ain't connected. Yeah. But make sure you guys are subscribing. Listen, we're trying to the goal is to get to 500 subscribers by the summer. We got some things in the works. We got some plans that we're trying to put together, right, to connect with the student athletes. And so listen, help us out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you like it and share it so PV Nation know where to go and where to find it, because we got some stuff that we're working on and we're trying to put in the works for the summertime, but we got to get to 500 subscribers if we're going to get that done. Listen, Jess, I be trying to tell them, welcome to Wakanda. Welcome to Wakanda. You know what I wish? Let me tell you what I wish real quick before we get out of here. You feel me? I wish I be having some thoughts sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you, right? I kind of wish we could create a partnership with Marvel Studios, right? That really, really gives us the ability to like to really use some of this Black Panther language and imagery and stuff, I think that'll be fire. You know what I'm saying? If we got Marvel to come in and bring in their resources to connect with the stadium into the program, yo, that'd be crazy. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I know that's like far-fetched and far out there, right? But I would really love that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I'm like, listen, this is the Black Mecca. You feel me? You know, this is the Harvard is the white PV. You know what I'm saying? We're not the Black Harvard. Harvard is the white PV. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? It's always welcome to Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? What else we got going on? Yes, please tell Prof. You know what I'm saying? You know, please tell Prof about Mo City Done and Southside the Realest. Make it work. You feel me? Because listen, that would have everybody going crazy. You can't go to the Baby Dome without playing Mo City Done, and you cut the video, you cut it off, everybody's still singing, right? You can't play Southside the Realest without cutting it off and everybody's still singing, right? Listen, those are staples. It's like PV staples. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I wish we could create a chant around that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. But yeah, man, until next time, man, I appreciate all you for jumping on and joining us. We're going to continue to do these videos. Like I said, we're going to do some breakdowns where we break down each of these individual signees on their own, right? Check out their film too as well. So make sure y'all check that out. Be looking for that. It's probably going to start dropping after the first, though, of the year in January, right? And hopefully, man, by National Signing Day, we can actually get a couple of these signees and maybe their family to come on and join us and talk to us about, you know, their decision to join PV. I know we got Mr. Hall on here, Mr. LeBaron Hall, man. You know what I'm saying? I love for you, your son, maybe, to come jump on and have a conversation about, you know, why y'all chose PV, man, and what you see you guys can do here from both an academic and from a standpoint of, you know what I'm saying, on the field. I think that'd be super great. So if man, if you want to have a chance to come over here, then please then let's do that and let's get that going. Because listen, one thing that we also got to do is we got to, man, start bigging up our players. The reason that a lot of these guys ain't getting looked for all SWAC, the reason a lot of these guys ain't getting looked all American, y'all can listen, stats, you need the stats. But listen, this is a popularity contest at the end of the day. It's a popularity contest and it's a name contest, right? It's either you won it all or you got the name, right? And so ain't nobody gonna talk about PV like PV talk about PV. Ain't nobody gonna talk about our players like we gonna talk about our players. Ain't nobody gonna big us up except us, right? And yeah, why we gonna be real? You know what I'm saying? And we gonna talk about the real, and we gonna talk about, hey, listen, like, man, we gotta get better in this area. You know what I'm saying? We gotta fix this. But at the same time, we also gonna say, man, listen, that player needs to be playing, you know what I'm saying, in the HBCU challenge. They need to be picking that up, right? Keyshawn Johnson needs to be there. Like, we got to do that because ain't nobody else going to do that for us. We got to do that for ourselves. So with all that being said, I'm coming off my soapbox, you feel me? So appreciate you guys, man. Joe Cleasy, what's going on, man? I appreciate you and all y'all do too, man. I always love to lock into y'all show, man. If y'all haven't watched that episode they did with AD Golf, it was so fire. Make sure y'all go over to the 1876 Sports and Culture podcast. Check that out. That was super dope. Great questions, right? You know what I'm saying? He was ready for every single one of them. That's why I'm supporting. I listen, it's golf season, you feel me, for me. So I'm supporting everything he got going on. But I appreciate you guys for letting us know. Yeah, man, we definitely gonna get that going, man. So for National Signing Day, we'll talk about that and get y'all on the show for sure. You know what I mean? Duece, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, we got some ballers, man. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to this next year. I'm super excited already. You know what I mean? We're going back, SWAC West champions. We're going to get it done this year. So, again, until next time, man, I will see you later. Holla.